Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guys, being my guide for God of War 2 on Titan difficulty. Today we're doing part 12, Crossing of the Lowlands. And this also is going to be containing the Great Chasm, as I call it, but we're going to be mostly focusing on the fun section of... It is pretty fun, it is a pretty fun section, but the grappling section, I guess you can call it. So, yeah, starting off... Oh, we'll also be getting a new weapon. We're going to be getting the spear, but we don't have it yet. I don't know why I brought the spear last time. I'm so confused. I'm so backwards on where I'm at. Of course, you got undead archers. Nothing special. They're simple enough at this point. You don't even need an entire guide to beat those guys. Because they're stupid easy, mostly. And they do little to no damage. So, they're just in your way. They're just fodder. And for those that don't know, there is a puzzle that you can do with this section where you can do the time puzzle, and we will be doing that. And I think it contains an urn, if I remember correctly. Regardless of the case, remember this raven that we fought from like ages ago? Well, yeah, it's got a weapon. It's got the Spear of Destiny, something I'm not going to be using. And I'm sure that there's probably some benefits to using it. I'm sure there's some people that like it. I've never been that type of guy that likes most of the extra weapons, except for, say, maybe the Nemean Cestus from 3. That's mostly, or at least Zeus's Gauntlet from Chains. That was a pretty good one. But even like in God of War 3, like I didn't even like most of the other blades either. I didn't like the Electric Whip or Nemesis Whip. I didn't like Hades was neat, but it wasn't a go-to. For me, the dual blades are my go-to. But yeah, you can see that I'm struggling to try to even use the spear at this point. I just give up and say, screw it, I'm just going to circle kill everybody. Because I'm not that good with the spear. I don't know... Yeah, I know, for a person that plays God of War 2 on Titan mode, you think I would know more about this type of stuff, but I really don't. I know eventually you can get an ability where... No, I think you start off with the ability, where you can plant down like a bomb or whatever, which I assume... could be a cool setup for certain things, but for me personally, I'm more of a blades guy. So that's how I am. More hands-on, more just, the typical blades. Now granted, when it comes to God of War 4, and, Ragnarok, the blades just end up kind of being less used, and it's mostly just the axe, which does a pretty good job for the most part, for what it's worth. But yeah, I'm going to fast forward this section because nobody needs to see this. You essentially just run back, you just time stop before you get to this part, and then after that, there you go. I keep saying time stop, it's not time stopping. It's slowing down time. Also, I'm surprised my processor's not exploding right now. We're doing fast. There it is. Yeah, I was waiting for it. But yeah, then you just put it back to where it goes. You face it toward this direction, and there you have it. So, next up is the grappling section. This one's very time-based. Like, for one, you have enough time to make it across both of these platforms. It's just... what I mean by time-based, I mean, like, it's very timing-based. I should say that. Where, like, right there, for example, like, I had to, like, leap back. I did die once because I forgot that I can't just jump willy-nilly. That sometimes you have to wait to jump. And for those that don't know when to jump, well, hopefully my guide can help you out there because... Well, that's kind of what I'm here for, but I would completely understand if somebody had struggled with that section because sometimes, not knowing the timing is a killer. But other than that, yeah, really, really cool area. I like that part. And upon coming in here, we got to deal with sirens. The ones from, God of War 1, they make their return. I think this is the first time we see them in God of War 2, at least. They do come equipped with, like, a new move where they can kind of, like, shock themselves, it seems. And, yeah, that's a bit irritating. I'm pretty sure that's a new move. I think I would know. I played God of War 1 a bit. But, yeah, they do drop magic, which is nice. I just use, the Urail head on the first 2. That way I just get rid of them because they're just a pain in my ass. I'd rather deal with the Minotaurs. And as you saw, of course, I go into Rage mode to deal with the Siren, the last one. And now, the rest of these 2 dorks should be relatively easy. Mainly because they have such a long windup of most of their attacks that it's just so damn telegraphed that you could just do something like that. Where you can run away and then come back with a long-ranged, like, triangle slam attack. And then they can't do shit. So, as long as you're on your toes and you're keeping away from them as much as you possibly can and just doing, like, some nice long-range moves. They'll eventually die. They don't have that much health either, which is nice. Not in this section. Not until we get to the Fates area. That's where they bulk up for some strange, odd reason. So, yeah, I mean, hell, even Ares wasn't that cheap. I mean, yeah, sure, he threw out some of the, more aggressive enemies toward the end of the game, but to be fair, they never really got much of a health increase. Until God of War 2 when we decided to do that, I guess. So, Satyrs, this is the one from God of War 1, like the undead-looking ones. And I just do the same thing I did with the Sirens. I have level 2 Urael, for those that are curious. I leveled up like a couple of episodes ago. And so, yeah. While you got the chance, you can, after you defeat the Satyrs, you can grab that, the magic chest. And then after that, we have to fight these guys. These guys are fun to fight because you can kind of see their HP bar on their sleeve. It's great. Because their armor represents their HP. I mean, I know this is not the first time we technically fought them, but still. But the trick I'm doing here is I'm just backing away and I'm going for any of these finishers that I pop, as many as I can. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to go for. A few pop shots once again, as always. It may be cheap to some, but if you want a more flashier fight, then you can, get more up close and personal with them and stuff. And they're relatively simple enough to dodge. It's just they do a lot of damage. That's the only main thing of them that gets really annoying. But yeah, as you also saw, finishers not only like knock them backward, kind of like Cyclopses, but usually finishers tend to knock out their armor too, which is nice. And that's kind of what you want to go for. So after all is said and done, heal up on your chests and what have you. Get your magic back, get your health back, get your car back, get your girlfriend back. I don't remember how that song went, but it was some country song from like years ago that my parents would stop listening to. And yeah, so Icarus fight. The rest of this section should be straightforward. You pretty much just don't screw up the quick time events and you'll be okay. But if you're like me and you screw up the quick time events, then, well, that's just the nature of things. But yeah, basically after every few hits or so, about like, I don't know, 7 to 8 hits, or however many it is, or however many Icarus decides to let you have, I guess, on him. After a while, he'll start, trying to like do this, where he grabs you by the neck and you want to do a full circle. Now, I don't know if it really matters where you start the full circle, but as you saw, I messed it up because for some reason I struggle with full circles. I don't even know why. Especially in God of War 1, where it scares the shit out of me. Like, you think it would be, like, the most lenient thing, which they typically are when you figure out, like, oh, okay, it really is just super lenient. I'm just taking it too strict myself. Yeah, that's the main issue. Now, granted, you probably could, if you do mess up the quick time event, maybe go into rage mode to possibly knock off some of that damage that could come your way. I haven't really tested that theory, so I'm not really sure, but yeah, even if you mess up a couple of quick time events, you're not gonna, it's not just gonna kill you, but still, try not to mess up, get the wings, we're on Atlas, so see you guys next time.